was hesitant to say the least. I mean, I was completely blindsided when season 8 came out. There's no feeling to really describe how awful that was and painful, to be honest with you. So I was really hesitant to go into season 9, but I really wanted to tell my side of the story because I didn't even have a voice. I didn't have a chance to say this is crazy that this was even allowed. So I went in there kind of, ready to kind of go in, tell my story, and say how messed up it was, what transpired. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, they knew I had zero desire to have a conversation with her, zero desire. I mean, I don't think she's a good person at all. What she did to me when she literally made up this story. She took what someone said and completely made it into her entire storyline and ran with it so that she would get airtime. So I do think she's a bad person. I had no desire to sit down with her, but we joined a reality TV show. So would I have sat down with her in real life? No, of course not. Why would I ever put myself through that? But, producers asked me if I would sit down with her and have a conversation, let her know how it made me feel and everything else. And, I did that. And I also felt like the audience kind of deserved that too. You know what? I actually had somewhat of like a little bit of hope that she would take responsibility and say, you know what, I messed up. I kind of took something and I kind of made, it a little bit more in my head, slash, like made this whole big fake thing in my head. I just wish she took more responsibility, but she's never going to. She might be the worst apologizer of all time. But yeah, she took zero responsibility. And I mean, am I surprised? No, it's Nicole. So. I mean, the worst excuse I've ever heard. You did not clear the air. You literally took something that someone said, like, oh, my girlfriend was upset about her husband using her for real estate. And you took it that I was having an affair with somebody. And that's what you talked about behind my back the whole season when I never even held hands with this guy. Like, this is crazy to me. So no, I mean, she knows deep down what she did was wrong. I mean, I've thought Nicole was not a good person for quite some time. And I just feel like she keeps digging her grave and she just keeps digging a bigger hole and a bigger hole. And I think she really should have taken responsibility, at least with my situation. Her and Chrishell, I think that's deep rooted. It goes way beyond, what we see. But with me, she knew that nothing happened with that guy. So she just should have taken more responsibility. And every single person, including Mary and all of her friends, told her that just take responsibility. Nothing happened. Just take responsibility. You messed up. But, she won't do that. No, I wasn't shocked, to be honest with you. She kept going below the belt to points where, there's no return. And at the end of the day, I get it. We're doing a reality show, so we put our lives out there for the world to see and judge. But, this is our mental health. And at some point you have to take a step back, Jason included, and be like, okay, I really can't have it this bad in the office. I think she's gone from the show for sure. I don't know her. I don't keep up with her. So I don't know if she's going into the office or not. I don't know if she lives here or not. Like that's how little we keep up or keep in touch or, I'm not going on my Finsta account to go look at her Instagram. I don't care. Just please leave me alone. I just want to be left alone. I mean, ultimately, I mean, if she came back to the show, I mean, I think she's throwing herself to the wolves, and she's gonna have to deal with that. But I mean, it's not gonna affect me. I let her affect me one season, more so because I was blindsided. I will never let her affect me again, and no matter what she says. But I did deserve a voice, during season 8, so that I could have at least been like, wait, this is crazy. But I get it. It was better headlines to act like I'm seeing a married guy when there's no truth to that, as opposed to giving me an opportunity to squash it within 5 seconds. Obviously it's hard to watch, and I think with any relationship, a lot of relationships think about it, your friends do not like your significant other. I feel like that's a natural thing, and that's why I did agree to film with him and talk about my relationship, because I would rather be open and honest and vulnerable, as hard as it was. And obviously it was not it's not easy, and it's definitely not easy now that the season came out for people to, either whether they love us or they hate us. And we are getting a lot of love and support, but for anyone to judge anything is always difficult. Also, he didn't sign up for a reality show, so I'm always protective of my friends and my family that didn't sign up for this just because they're attached to me. But it was really difficult to see. It was difficult to see because you kind of see my relationship with Chrishell. We make jokes about it at first, and then it becomes so real, and it just, you see a friendship end, which is really sad. Yeah, I think that it's one of those things where their personalities they'll never see eye to eye. They are on two ends of the spectrum in the sense where, like, she doesn't appreciate certain things that he does. He doesn't appreciate certain things that she does. And unfortunately, I am in the middle. And it was like, there was a point where I loved them both so much. My ideal situation is for my best friend and my boyfriend to love each other. And I knew right away that that was just not going to be the case. So ultimately, I feel like it was the hardest on me because it was really difficult to watch my. I didn't want to make a choice because I really wanted it to work with both. She's been my best friend, and I tried to, make sure, that relationship stayed intact. And I really did love and care about her like a sister, and nothing changed. I just was dating someone that, she's strongly disliked, and I can't argue that. There's nothing that I can do. I can't make somebody like somebody. And also too, I think that when you're in a relationship with somebody, if you confide in your best friend at times when things are good, but also when they're bad, and then it's hard to kind of view them the same way and things like that. So I really don't blame anyone for what's happened. Yeah, I think it was one of those things where I really was holding on to a friendship with Chrishell and worried about kind of what other people thought a little bit. I mean, a lot of it. And, it came to the point where I was like, you know what? This is the person that I care about. And, I have enjoyed my time with him, and I can't keep worrying about what other people say or who they want me to be with, because I ultimately have to follow my heart. And even if I have to learn the hard way, this is somebody that I'm choosing to be with, and everyone can, say what they want, or they can either love him or hate him. But ultimately, it's kind of my choice who I end up with. And, there was just a moment at the reunion where, there was a few of the girls, they were like, if that's your man, then say that's your man. Just own it. Like, no one can dictate who you kind of can't be with. And it was kind of like a little bit of like an eye opener for me, in the sense where I was just like, you know what? I am gonna be open to this relationship, and not be ashamed of, oh my God, my best friend doesn't like him, or whatever else. And I'm just gonna be open and honest, and I'm gonna put my heart into the relationship right now. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I don't want to have any regrets that I cared what other people thought, when I do enjoy my time with him, and he's good with my family and my niece and my nephew. I think at that point it kind of had already ended. So it was actually one of the other cast members. I never said, "Oh my God, this is my man," and everything else. It was one of the other cast members that was like, "Why do you care? What other, like, you can do whatever you want to do. Like, who is anyone to dictate who you're with?" And I was kind of like, "Oh, okay." Like, it was just one of those like realizations, like, "Oh, okay." Like, if I do want to go see him, and I ended up flying out, I think it was a day, right, the next day, right after the reunion, to go see him. And that's what I wanted to do. And I don't want to not tell someone that that's what I'm doing. And so I was kind of like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm going to go see him. I want to be with him. And that's what I'm choosing right now. And it was just one of those moments, I kind of needed a little kick in the butt to go do what I wanted to do. And ultimately, I'm really happy with my relationship with him right now. I'm really happy with, I've been spending a lot more time with my family on the East Coast, because he's on the East Coast. So it's been really good. And I've been, really enjoying some family and friends time, mostly on the East Coast, which has just been really nice. No, he has not. He was like, I can't believe you said that. But, the thing is, when you join a show, I do feel like it's important to put things out there, you know what I mean? As hard as they are and as personal as they are, I did. I put my life out there this season, which I don't know if producers deserved after they did me dirty season 8, but you know what? I really wanted the audience to just kind of see me and who I am, and being vulnerable, and seeing, my real relationship that I was in. I mean, I would definitely move to the East Coast. My family's on the East Coast, so that's not something that I would even hesitate. I would definitely move to the East Coast. No brainer. I mean, my family is my everything, so I would move there, no problem. But yeah, he would probably he would need to propose for me to do that. When the season ended, me and Blake were not together. And I did get back together with him. And I went to go see him for his birthday, and I posted him on his birthday and everything else. So I think that was kind of what happened there, because when the season did end, we were not together. We were, I had ended things, we were taking some space, and then, I just followed my heart. I ended up getting back together with him. So I think that that's kind of what happened. I mean, of course, it's hurtful. But for me, it's one of those things where I don't wish anything but positive things for her, and that's not going to change no matter what she says. Even if she says hurtful things, I'm ultimately just going to wish the best for her. She knows my morals and values are literally, she knows my father, and he has the best morals and value of any person I know in the entire world. And I get my morals and my values from him. So I know, and I know she knows the type of person that I am. I mean, we were like sisters for quite some time. Everyone in my life knows my morals and values. So I know that I have really good values, and I'm a really good friend. I'm a really good daughter and family person. So, we have not spoken since the reunion. And, again, it's one of those things where if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. And, I don't have anything awful to say. I, again, wish her the best. I wish her and G the best. I love them. And that's kind of where it's at. I know that they don't like Blake, and I know how everyone feels, and that's okay. But we had such a close relationship for so long, and ultimately, we had a great sisterhood and family relationship that I would never want bad things, no matter how angry she is with my current situation. I mean, that's where I'm at, and that's not going to change. And even if mean things are said, and of course I've been hurt by things that are said, but I'm not going to change the way that I move, and I'm not going to change the person that I am. So I will continue to take the high road with the entire situation. I don't think that I chose. I feel like I wanted both relationships to work. I still wanted Chrishell to be my best friend, and I did want to revisit the relationship with Blake, and I thought that I could make both work, and I couldn't, for whatever reason. But I did not want the friendship to end. That was not a choice that just happened. But I did not want the friendship to end, and I did not want my relationship with him to end. So I think ultimately the choice was made by other people, but it wasn't made by me. And that's kind of what happened with that situation. But no, I mean, I don't feel like I had to make a choice, because I don't feel like I did make a choice. For sure. He did not say that pronouns were dumb. He would never say that. He accidentally said wife. And, when he said wife, I said, and I knew it was, he did say they earlier in the conversation, because I told him and I explained it. And it was kind of the first time he was learning about it. And he was trying to be good. And he said they earlier in the day up at her house. This was also 2 years ago. This wasn't like a recent thing. This was 2 years ago. And then he said wife when he said, when is your wife going to come back from Australia? I corrected him because I knew I wanted to be sensitive. I'm super sensitive about the situation. So I corrected him, and he said, oh, my bad, my bad. We're from the South and we don't really do it there. And that's exactly what was said. And, it rubbed her the wrong way. And she's protective of G, and G's an amazing person. So I don't blame her for that. But he didn't mean anything by it. He did not say pronouns are dumb. Or was stupid, whatever was said. He did not say pronouns are dumb or stupid. He accidentally said wife and apologized. I was right there. He apologized for saying it. If I'm being honest, I don't think the two of them will ever sit down and see eye to eye. I think that there maybe would be hope for her and I to sit down, but I don't think the two of them would ever sit down. And I'm just being super real, open, and honest. The two of them, they just clash. They don't see eye to eye. But I think if her and I were ever stuck in an elevator together or something like that, I mean, I think that we would be able to have a conversation. I would hope we would be able to have a conversation, but obviously I can only speak to my side. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think that everyone's kind of, we've been through it this season. So I think everyone's kind of like, okay, we all need a breather. So we'll see what happens when we get those phone calls and who's ready to jump in and start filming and who's ready to be done. Because I think a lot of us have kind of been through it, myself included, having being labeled a home wrecker at one point when nothing had happened, then having my personal life with my real relationship be so judged, losing a best friend and everything else. So I think, whenever that call happens for season 10, I think it will be very interesting to see who comes back and who doesn't. I think it's one of those things where we'll see when the call comes, but I'm really happy with my life right now, and it's been really peaceful. And it was just such a refreshing feeling to be done with the reunion because that was so emotionally draining that I've been just really enjoying my time, a lot of time on the East Coast, a lot of time with my family, a lot of time with Blake. And, I just don't know. I can't picture at this moment, filming again. So I'm really happy with where things are at, and we'll see what happens. I don't really know, but I just know that I'm in a really good place with, my life. Yeah, I think it was just, after the reunion, I left and I went to go spend time with Blake, and it was one of those things. I mean, I have nothing but good things to say about Chelsea. Chelsea and I will always have a sister relationship. I love her. If she called me tomorrow and was like, I need you to come babysit or I need you to bail me out of jail or whatever it would be. I mean, I would be there. Chelsea and me just we've, since the moment that we met, we've always had a great connection. And I think that the reunion was just really emotionally draining. And I think it was difficult. So, I left and I've been, honestly, I just got back in town this week. I've been gone since then and, just with my family and things like that. So I really was just taking a moment to decompress and, I mean, like I said, the reunion was really, really difficult. So I just needed a little bit of time. But yeah, I mean, there's no issues. Yeah, I think after the reunion, like it was a lot for me. I'm sure it was a lot for everybody. And I really just needed to spend time with my family. It was, my mom, my dad, everyone's birthdays were, so I was just honestly spending time with them, prioritizing family, and honestly, the reunion was a lot for me. And like I said, I got that text from, my dad when I was sitting on the couch and, just being like, we're really proud of you. And I was holding back tears on the couch at the reunion because it was really difficult because, I was up there filming and, going back and forth with somebody who I considered my sister. And I really just wanted to, be home with my family because it was so difficult. So I really just kind of have been taking some time for myself and, trying to figure out my relationship with Blake and spending time with the family. I mean, to be honest with you, like Alana, Jason, Brett, Mary, Sandra, I mean, everyone's been reaching out to me. Bree has been reaching out to me. Everyone's been reaching out to make sure, that I'm okay and just check in and things like that. So to be honest with you, I'm in a really good place. With majority of the cast. So I'm grateful for that because that's not always the case on the reality TV show. But yeah, no, I mean, everyone's been really great. Alana's been, extra great. I invited her to this women's dinner that I had, and then we've been hiking together. So, she's so, so sweet. We were just together at the season premiere, and that was really nice. I'm pretty sure that they weren't invited, which so Bree threw it, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, yeah. So that's what happened there. That was kind of, I think, the reason behind all that. But obviously, a lot of the cast went, which it's really difficult to get majority of the cast together because you just don't really see that much these days. It's difficult because there's just so many battles. But majority of the cast ended up going. I flew in that day because I wanted to take my dad, so that was cute. That was a cute little father-daughter moment for me.